Good day and welcome to today's edition of Outside at Genie, where we'll be looking at the race meeting at Durbanville. Today is the 21st of March, where we have an 8-race program. As per normal, the first 2 races is juvenile races, so I won't be discussing any form selections there, but I'll give you the betting. Race 1, number 7, Nippy Winter 15-2, Casa Inverno 4-1, Curly Top 4-1, 6-1 Fly Better, Kissing Point 6-1, 8-1 Masters Queen, Magna Marta 33-1, and 33-1 Rockability Light. The second race, number 6 Silver Salmon, 8-10 Master Archie 5-2, 55 7-1, Uvalian 11-1, 12-1 Tribal Master, 22-1 Tsar Peter, 25-1 Master of Time, and Green Tiger 33-1. So we moved into the third race where the betting is as follows. Number 2, Queen Yala 2-1, Boldly Go 22-10, Path to Go 9-2, 13-2 Alloway Grove, 10-1 African Winter, 14-1 Princess Santo, Real Joy 16, 25-1 After the Storm, and 35-1 Lady Magenta. So let's have a look at race number 3. The form is 1,000 meters, maiden plate for fillies and mares. And here my first selection is number 1, Boldly Go, Bold Savannah by Jetmaster. This horse has been improving slowly but certainly, and I think today is the day for Boldly Go. In form combination, Dean Kannemeyer, Kigo de Milo is drawn 6th, middle of the field, shouldn't be a problem. Then my outsider selection in this race is number 2 and 5. 2 is Queen Alloway Grove. Has also been improving. Has run once on this track before, but didn't run. But please note that was 12 from 12 out of 12. Today slightly better, but the horse is improving and certainly can be involved in the finish. As is number 5, Princess Santo. Princess Santo has run a few places. Never run on this track, but drawn 3, Louis Makotsa riding, and I think this horse can also be there when the photos are taking. And we have the favorite, number 3, Queen Niara. I've given up on this filly. I have been preaching her for a long time, but every time she disappoints. Last time out, work riders couldn't even find a place, and I really felt that I think maybe this horse is a bit overrated, but most probably will win today because I'm writing it off, but I'll stick with my first selection, number 1, Boldly Globe. Then we move to race number 4, where we have the favorite, number 1, Camps Bay, 17-20, 7-2 Live Goes Live on March, 11-2 Wordsworth, Enroll 11-2, 14-1 Smile at the Sunset, and 20-1 and Longer the Rest. So here we have Camps Bay. Camps Bay is a gelding that has been slowly improving. Last time out ran a nice second behind Captain Dizzy, and out of that form already 3 runners, 1 winner. So certainly it looked like it was a strongish field, and I think today Greg Shane on board, but the only problem is it's drawn 9. That can be a little bit of a disadvantage, but I think Camps Bay might be too good for this field. And for outsider selections, I'm going with horses number 2, Wordsworth. Wordsworth has run a few places, but I do see that at Durbansville, he hasn't run well. But the thing is, he's got Richard Fourie on today, but I think, maybe a place chance. I think the biggest opposition to the favorite can be is Stable Companion, number 3, Live on March. It's a global view. Wow, what a talent he turns out to be. And his progeny is really running well. Live on March improved from his second to his third race, and certainly can be there when the photos are taken. Another outsider selection I want to recommend is number 8, RTL. Also that's run a few places. Also, I just had 1 run at Durbanville, didn't run too well, 16 under behind 2 pennies. But again, Louis Makotsa riding, and maybe this horse can also be included in your quartet and trifecta selections. And then move on to the race number 5. Race number 5 is another maiden plate over 1,600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. And here we have number 1, Daughter of Zeus, even money 70-10 Crimson Princess, Norval's Point 10-1, Bite My Lip 14-1, Enchanted Creek 14-1. The Crazy Cat Lady 14-1, 22-1, and Better the Rest. Yes, again, we have a short favorite here. Number 1, Daughter of Zeus, Even Money, and number 2, Crimson Princess 17-10. My selection is number 2, Crimson Princess. Crimson Princess is improving slowly, and yeah, definitely. I mean, number 1 is a horse that goes to the front, and my problem with these horses is invariably sometimes they just get run out of it. And we have now here the opposite. So if I'm thinking Daughter of Zeus from draw 8 is definitely going to go to the front. Crimson Princess is drawn slightly better at 6. Is also Warner by Street Crime. And I'm sure Daughter of Zeus can go to the front, and Crimson Princess is going to sit and wait to pounce and run her down. And I think that's what's gonna happen today. But that is just my opinion. So my first selection, number 2, but number 1 certainly also in with a huge chance. And for outsider selections, number 3, Bite My Lip, has run second in his second race, and didn't run a bad race. And then the last 3 races didn't do too well. But I think in this field today, from draw 5 over this distance, Bite My Lip can certainly be involved in a finish for quartet trifecta selections. And then number 6, Norval's Point. Norval's Point is ideal ruled by a black Manaloose mare, really well bred. And I think number 6, Norval's Point, can also be a horse that can improve to be involved in the quartet and trifecta selection. So certainly a horse that you can't leave out. So then we move on to race number 6, which is another maiden plate over 1600 meters. And here the betting is as follows. Number 1, Blinking King 17-10, 15.4. 15-4, Happy as Aristocrat, Grand Escape 92, 7-1, Ali Hongla, something like that, 14-1, Sabina's Prodigy, Freedom Park 16-1, 16-1, Old Tommy, 20-1, and Better the Rest. I think in this race we're going to have an upset because Blinking King is not a type of horse that I would be banking. This horse has improved, did run in the future behind Seeking the Stars, and then came out a very short a price. I was beaten by Dollar Brand, and Dollar Brand is certainly not a world beater. So number 1, Blinking King does have a chance, but for me, I'm looking here at the horse to improve, and this is number 6, Sabina's Project, the Master of My Fate out of Sabina Park by Sports World. This horse certainly very well bred, and I think today over the 1600 meters, last time out, I think the 1200 meters was too short. Before that, the 1900 meters might have been too far. But I think that today the 1600 might be the distance that this horse is looking for. So my first selection, number 6, Progeny, Sabina's Progeny. For outsider selections, you're looking at number 3, Alingalonga, Cash Robinson, Aldo de Meyer. This horse improved last time out over the 1600 meters. Relatively drawn 8, a little bit wide, but I'm sure this horse is improving. He's going to run a nice race. It's a Flower Alley by Rock of Gibraltar May. And then my other outsider selection is number 11, which is Grand Escape, Big Crawford Global View, out of Grand Mary by Kilachi. This horse has run 2 nice races, and I think that this can be one of the horses that can upset the favorite as well. Here we have number 12, put in the back end of your quartets, Longini. I didn't include in my back end of my quartets, but certainly this horse didn't run too bad on his first race. Corey Lemsley is still batting to win his first race here in the Cape. So then we move on to race number 7, where I'm not going to have any selections, as this is a race where a lot of first-timers, well-bred first-timers is running. So it's difficult to make an assessment here. I think best is wait for the betting, because this is the race where Comedy done last year. He was his first run, and he won this race. This is the farm. This is the Cloverflay Farm Sale Graduates. So all of these horses was bred by Cloverflay. So take your pick in the pick 6. If you want to, all you have to do in the pick 6 is just include all the runners that has run before, and there are 7 of them. So you have to include all 7 in your pick 6 to make sure that you can get that rule. because I've seen sometimes a first timer win, and then you think, okay, I'm just going to pop in one or two of the horses that's raised because they only have to run second, and then for some unexplainable reason, a big outsider that has had a run before but didn't show any form, like for instance number 10 Also Squeezy, comes and runs second, and then you stuffed because you never had that horse in. So do include number 10 Also Squeezy. Don't leave him out, because just now he's the horse that runs second behind the first timer. And if you haven't got a first timer, then you might lose out on the pick six. So then let's move on to the last race, which is a merit 74 handicap, Class C average merit rated 75, where the betting is as follows. Number 8, Global Goddess, 28 to 10, Mask. Okay, that was race number 7. I'm going to give you the betting 28 to 10. Golden Global Goddess 4 to 1, Mask Brillante, Karen Bliksem 7 to 1, Zambok 8 to 1, 9 to 1, just for a keys. Persistence 10 to 1, 10 to 1, Star Master, Zach Pegasus, and 12 to 1, 12 to 1, June Ball, 25 to 1, Sydney Sticker, 28 to 1, Also Squeegee, 33 to 1, number 10, Margo, and Silver Slippers and Scratch, number 4, the first timer. So here we have the last race, Border Bring 2 to 1, Van Gogh 8 to 4 to 1, 6 Hill Greed Grants 9 to 2, 8 to 1, Heartbreak Hotel, Flying Grace 8 to 1, 8 to 1, Big Finger, Winterning Awakening 12 to 1, 16 to 1, El Solo Mio, 16 to 1, Vision of Fame. Now here my first selection is a horse that has not won yet, because this race is actually about the graduation plate or novice plate level. A lot of first timers and horses that has won one race. Sorry, not first timer, but horses that has won only one race. But I'm looking here at number 8, Van Gogh. This horse is certainly very, very well bred. I can assure you Limerick is a very good mare. And I'm thinking Van Gogh today over this distance, even if he hasn't won a race, it's going to be hard to beat. You know, I've spoken a while ago about the 400 to finishes in Cape Town, where you'll find a horse run 24.5, fastest 400, like here, Flying Grace, 26.3, third fastest. There, and then seldom, you very seldom see horses finishing under 24 seconds. Now here we have Van Gogh. He ran at 22.9, and that was just the third fastest. But he was slow out and he ran on well. And I'm thinking Van Gogh today is going to be a huge runner in this field. You know, in South Africa, we have a perception that a horse that hasn't won a race cannot run against horses that has won a race. Last week, we had this situation in Gauteng where Sean Terry entered the horse, the name escapes me now, it's a maiden into a future race, a listed race. Omia or something like that was the horse's name, I think. And I did say that the horse is going to win that race. And at that stage, he was like 8 to 1, 10 to 1, the horse. And he duly won the race. So here we can have number 8, Van Gogh, running a good race against 1 and 2 time winners. I'm sure of that. And I think sometimes trainers need to, assess where to run the horses, because sometimes you might find that your horse is running in a stronger maiden, where if you put him in a handicap, he can run against lesser opposition. Surely if the horse has got of ability, he can win that even if he's still a maiden. So then my outsider selections is number 5, Big Finger, just a snipe drawn free, Robert Carty. This horse won over the 79 meters and didn't run too bad behind Dubai Lights in a merit C81, now running in a C75. So it's coming down in class, and certainly I would think that Big Finger must have a chance in this field. My other outsider selection is number 7, which is Flying Grace, which we just spoke about. Also a Master of Fate by Kildon and me. This horse has also improved and run nicely, but drawn 11. But include for the back ends of your quartet and trifectas, because I think the 2,000 meters will also suit number 7, Flying Grace. And for then we have to look at a favorite, number 3, Warrior Blink. Also Silvano, Razzle Dazzle Rose. I did say last time out that it will win, and it really won well. And again, must have a chance, Warrior Bling. And also include a stablemate, number 1, Solo Mew in your calculations. Although this horse ran unfairly in the last 2 runs, he certainly has ability. And he did run well here in Durbanville a while ago over the 69 meters, but I think the 2,000 meters more up to his alley, kicking the mile riding from draw 9. But that brings us to the end of our preview today. I hope I could point you in the right direction for a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.